And we're on. Yeah, I know. I'm early. I just looked at the time now. I'm like, I got that. I got that. I got that. I can go. I'm like, oh man, it's not 11 o'clock yet. I'm early. Hi, I'm early for a change. I am your party artist, and I'm early. Here at my studio, Overholt Art and Entertainment Studio. And I'm your hostess with all the toast. My name's Kim Overholt. Yes, and I'm here to help you have fun, learn a little bit about art and the creative process of being the artist. Yeah, I was always the odd one in my family, the weird one. That's me. No, no, no. My family's weird to begin with. I'm not the weird one. I've had weirder. We've been weirder. I, I have family members that have nothing on me. I mean, there's people in my family that can tell great stories, have you laughing a mile a minute. And then there's people like me that are just like, okay, she's good at art. So how are you doing this morning? Yeah, I know it's like I say, I'm early and it's almost 11 o'clock, and it's Entertainment Thursday. And welcome to Entertainment Thursday. Um, May the 4th be with you. I know I do not have a lisp. What are you talking about? I'm not the one with a lisp. You are. Yeah, May the 4th. Yes, it's May the 4th. And yeah, welcome to my studio. If you want to know a little bit more about me, of course, obviously, you know where this is going, me and my fancy graphics. Yeah, KimOverholt.com. Go, check out my website. Yeah, I look like Kilroy was here, right? Kilroy? Kilroy. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to make it look nice. It's still a mess in my studio. I still got a lot of stuff to do, and I may have a job, which is great. I'm looking forward to it. It might be something that's up my alley. I'll see how it goes. Like because I like chatting. You know me, you and me together. I know we're like this, and this is me over here. But nevertheless, I'm always trying to get people excited about stuff. When I used to work at my other job, I used to like engage people, and I was told by my boss, like, don't do that. But I can't help myself. I see people and I was, hey, how's it going? I like to be like make people happy. And May the 4th, I know everybody's thinking about Star Wars, of course. May the Force. And I don't know about you when you think about Star Wars, but I have a lot of funny times, well, a lot of funny memories when I think about Star Wars. I used to have a friend when I was growing up. He would tell me that I wasn't doing Princess Leia correctly, and he actually showed me how to walk like a princess and stuff like that. I said, "Well, that's great, but I don't do that." I was never one of those people that ever actually followed directions. That just kind of like you want me to go from here to here, and you see you wanted me to go like that. I'll do this, but I will get there eventually. Like again, the key word to everything is yet. Yet we were getting to all these things today, but not yet. Yeah, I'll be getting to all these things about the May the 4th, but not yet. I have other things to talk about with you. Which throws you into another loop. Yeah, I was always told I'm one of those people that never keeps a sense of direction when I'm talking in a conversation, but I try to. I've been trying most of my life to a lot of people. And I know it's all about, you got to have a sense of humor, especially when you're an artist, because you get a lot of no's along the way. People telling you, no, 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 that's not what we want. No, that's not how you act in front of people. And so I live and learn, and I get better at it. Yeah. Oh, so yeah, Entertainment Thursday being what it is, and May the 4th with you. Yeah. So all the Star Wars things, I was always so glad that there were warrior women out there that didn't have to be like the stay-at-home mom types and take care of the kids type. I knew that wasn't in my future, but yeah, I kind of like knew that there had to be something more than just that, you know, succession of life, I guess you'd call it. And I wanted a little bit more, something a little bit different from everybody else, I guess. And gosh, I have to be different. Why do I always have to try and mess up stuff that is going right, eh? Leave it to me. So, it's comedy, tragedy. It runs in both ways. And life is what it is. It's a comedy tragedy at times, I know. And so Speaking of which, being Entertainment Thursday, I wanted to kind of do a little bit of a thing to explain a little bit of a comedy to you. I hope you don't mind. I've got some notes. I had to write it down because I find all kinds of great, me and I surf on the internet all the time. And yeah, I know I should get out more often. I know. But and it's funny because what I'm going to explain to you has a lot to do with humor, and well, I've always gone on the quest for humor. I've always loved humor ever since I could remember. Monty Python being what it is, and all those other greats from the past that I used to watch on television. Okay, let me give you some examples and entertain you at the same time. And I hope you find this entertaining. And for those of you who are maybe wanting to start up in doing comedy, that kind of thing, like my hair is I could do a comedy bit on just my hair alone and how it just makes me crazy every time I try to do something with it. It just says no, not making it happen. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit about comedy, and I've been trying this most of my life, and maybe this might get out to you. Maybe you can explain it back to me, so that maybe I can be funnier. Because maybe I know I'm just funny looking right now. Smelling, definitely funny smelling. If you could smell me right now, you'd be like, "Ooh, you should be in another room." Sorry, I'm just speaking truth. I don't know what else to tell you. I tell the truth. I come on, yeah, I go into Twitter, I tell the truth. I get knocked out with Twitter. I better watch myself around here. I know. I get myself knocked off of here if I start telling too many truths, right? Okay, don't mind my hair. I'm going to keep on complaining about my hair. And you know what? I've been looking at some of my past ones, and I'm always complaining about my hair. And it's just it just wants to come back. So we'll just let it do its thing. Okay, so different type, different types of humor. Okay, so the first type of humor is called affiliated humor, and that's the kind of humor that you usually see for like memes that you post online, things that you see on Facebook. That you think is funny to you, and you might. You post to other people because you think it's a worldwide joke kind of thing. That kind of thing you always find funny, like what oh, what's black and white and red all over, right? There's so many answers to that one. Uh, things like May the 4th. It's one of those things where it's just like everybody can kind of relate. That's what's called affiliated humor. Funny jokes would be bantering, then saying things like lemon curry. For those of you who know what lemon curry is, and uh, those who don't, a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge is always a fun thing to say too. Okay. The next one is like I call it. Well, I'll give you an example. Well, I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll give you an example. Okay. And you can tell me whether this is funny or not. Okay. Self-enhancing humor. Now, self-enhancing humor is where I laugh at myself because of life's absurdities, and it's a stress coping mechanism that we do all the time. Look at this. I can't. Like I try to be nice about it. It's a life coping to stress. This is absurdity. You see, stress. Or if my father were here, he'd be laughing at me. Okay, if I can do this, maybe would it look a little bit less obvious? Okay. uh, Stress coping, good nature humor, and good one to explain that to you is the spaghetti incident. It's a long story. It's a funny story. Something that happens to me. It's a common thing with me, and I have a thing for falling. And I always tell people because I used to be a clown. I went to the Chevy Chase School of Pratfalls, and yeah, I learned to fall pretty good. And there's one time. It's called the spaghetti incident, and the spaghetti incident goes a little bit like this. Okay, so I move a lot, and move a lot is like I've had to rent places, move and rent. And we do that. We've been doing that quite often, and as you know, if you ever have to move and stuff like that, it can be crazy. So the one day I'm moving. and not completely moved yet. And it's getting near to the end of the month. We've got boxes all over the place in the apartment, right? Okay. So I'm cleaning up one day in the apartment. It's dinner time. And I'm thinking, okay, time for dinner. What can we make? And I decided I still have some leftover pasta sauce. So make some pasta. Yeah. If so, I'm taking the cold pasta sauce and I'm going to put it in the container that I have it and put it in the microwave. There's boxes everywhere, and so I'm putting putting my spaghetti into the microwave, and I'm dodging and putting in by closing the door and stuff like that. And I press the buttons and I let it do its thing. Okay, so the place that I'm living at this time, I have not gotten dirty at all. So it's been immaculate the whole time that I've lived there. I'm a pretty clean person. I just get a little bit, as you can see, just a little bit stuff to put away. But I'm usually a pretty clean person. No, you're not going to believe me, but I'm a pretty clean person. And what happened was that day, well, in that apartment, they had tan carpeting. Okay, so it's not like a dark carpeting where if you drop something on it, you don't notice. Yeah, it's tan carpeting. So the whole year that I've lived there, I'm on a year lease. Uh, no problems. I didn't have any problems, any issues with dropping anything on the floor. We had another carpet over top of it to keep it from getting spills on. So, okay. The last day, I'm cleaning up and getting ready. Spaghetti is in the microwave. And the way that our kitchen goes is a little galley kitchen that has like a little bar on the side, and the microwave is right beside the bar. And the bar has like little the countertop, and then it has like a little step down, and this is like a sitting area where you can have seats and have yourself something to eat around the bar. It's like a bar slash like eating counter, that kind of thing. So you put the chairs around the counter, that kind of thing. Okay. Then the microwave is like right beside it. So what happens is the microwave dings, and me, I like just not thinking. I press the button, open the door, take out the hot sauce, and I'm about to step back and put it onto the counter when I realize there's boxes behind me. So now everything starts going in slow motion, all right? And I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you where things kind of go in slow motion. Your brain goes a million miles a minute all of a sudden, and you're thinking to yourself, oh God, I'm going to spill hot pasta sauce all over myself, probably give myself third to second degree burns, okay? So, what do? Here's the microwave, here's the bar. I thought I could, as I'm falling from the boxes being behind me, I'm thinking I can throw the pasta sauce and it'll land on the bar and it should be okay. It may splash on the counter, but that's okay. So it's all in slow mo at this moment, and I'm falling back with the pasta sauce in my hands. And my husband at this time, all he says he can hear is whoa, 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 and me falling backwards. I take the pasta sauce and I throw it in the container. The container hits the counter and it slides. It slides right across the counter. The amount of energy it hits the wall at the end of the counter, where the doorway meets for the kitchen and the bar slash counter thing. So it hits the end of the counter and right at the wall, hits the wall, goes up the wall, goes over and onto the carpet beside the wall and in the living room. It splashed like crazy. Now, luckily, it didn't land on me, or else I would have been covered in pasta sauce and may have had to been rushed to the hospital with second or third degree burns. Who knows? But the spaghetti sauce was everywhere, everywhere. So it's on the counter, it's on the wall, it's on the ceiling, it's on the floor, and it's on the carpet. The carpet that I managed for a whole year not to get anything on. And I rolled up the carpet that I had on top of it to keep it from, because we were moving. And so there's the carpet, pasta sauce everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh. And of course, Frank comes in. He's like, he said it looked like a crime scene. It looked like somebody got murdered with the pasta sauce everywhere. It was like, that's one of my things. Uh, the story that I told. And thank God, oh, we had good friends at the time that had a steam cleaner, because as soon as that happened, and it was like the final days of living at this place, we were going to be moving to another place, and we're like, called them up, hey, can we borrow your steam cleaner? I was like, yeah, yeah, no problem. We bought the steam cleaning machine, suds for it, filled it all up, suctioned everything off, like afterwards, cleaned everything up, and no, no sight of the stains to be found. Thank God. Okay. Now that was what I would call self-enhancing self-enhancing humor, because that's one of the many falling jokes that I like to tell, because I'm a great faller, and I'll have to tell you some more of those later at another time. So self-enhancing humor. I laugh at myself and my absurdities. It's a funny thing that happens. And I'm glad, just next time, if you ever do the same thing I do, just look around and be. I have this problem with not being very bright sometimes, and I things just happen, like this hair, right? Okay, so first was affiliated humor, which, like I say, is like the Monty Python, the funny jokes, the memes, that kind of thing. Self-enhancing humor, which is like I tell you, like the things that happened, the spaghetti incident. I could tell you stories of like living above Walter Austin's music store, and musicians. I could tell you a story about the different jobs I've had. I could tell you that, of course, I'll tell you May the 4th jokes like crazy, of course. But the next one that I want to explain to you is kind of a little bit getting in the little bit more harder side. It's called aggressive humor. And aggressive humor is laughing at others. And that can be like, making fun of people. And it can be a little bit on the bitter side if you take it the wrong way. I know a lot of people, a lot of comedians make fun of, let's say, like roasting people. Like Don Rickles, for example, is a great example of aggressive humor, where he would insult people, but it's a joke. People know that he's just joking. He's being funny because it just makes everybody else laugh. It's just, the funny things that make people kind of go, yeah, that's right. He is. And like, you can usually say stuff like that about, the government. You can say stuff about that about politicians. You can say that about celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Insult comedy, teasing, ridicule, sarcasm, that kind of thing. Being a little bit sharp with your words. And what's the other word? The word that I'm looking for. Facetious. Yeah, facetious. When you're being funny, but you're being a little bit sharp, because you know that the person that's kind of, try maybe asking you a serious question, and you're getting back at them by saying something that's funny to you, but maybe not funny to them. You know what I mean? Like, it can be like a little nudge at them every once in a while, and you're like, ah, gotcha. Kind of like even they making fun of the Klaus Schwab, with the way you would eat the bugs and talking like these, like you were the Doctor Evil. Yeah, like things like that, like where you're kind of like, you can poke as much fun as you wanted to with the Mr. Crazy Eyebrows, or and hopefully nobody makes fun of any kind of other humor like that. I mean, you gotta poke fun at yourself, and that's the next one. That's the on the list of. So we have affiliated humor, which, like I said, is the Monty Python stuff. The self-enhancing humor, which is like the stuff that happens to you, kind of like oopsies. Aggressive humor, of course, is like the insults and the poking at people. And, every once in a while, I like to poke at people and say certain things that get them going. It's like, are you trying to say something? It's like, no, no, no. Yes. And of course, aggressive humor. And then there's self-defeating humor. Self-defeating humor is the other style of humor. Now, I think it's the only four styles. Hold on, let me just make sure. Yeah, it's only four styles that I wanted to talk to you about today. Yes, you see, it just goes to show you. I'm not thinking, was it four or five? Five, kind of like the Spanish Inquisition kind of thing, where our chief element is surprise, surprise and fear. Our two elements are fear and surprise, and ruthless. Our three elements are fear, surprise, ruthless efficiency, and almost fanatical devotion to the Pope. Amongst our weaponry, yeah. So you do stuff like that. It's like, ha ha ha. Oops, right? I love Monty Python. I'm just a bit. I've been a big fan ever since I was a kid. Let me. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to fix it. As you can see, the whole time when I'm talking, this is bothering me. I'm just gonna have to try. And it's funny because if I wasn't looking at the camera, I wouldn't know. I'm looking. I'm like, okay. Other than that, am I okay? Do I look all right? Okay. Self-defeating humor. This is this. Am I okay? I don't know. I think I'm okay. Oh, it was all those um, Ghostbusters I had when I was 22, and people asking me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Am I okay? I don't know. Am I okay? I guess so. Yeah, I think I'm okay." So it's okay. So the last one is self-defeating humor. Self-defeating humor is putting yourself down to gain approval from your peers, like saying stuff that people are going to make fun of you because of your yeah. Look at least I ain't going to school and people going, Kim, I'm like, yeah, okay, hold on. I'm trying to get on it. I'll try to get in. I'm trying to do my best to tuck it back, as what's his face would say. Okay, so a self-defeating humor is putting yourself down, and I gotta say, uh, the running joke for me has probably been Brad Pitt. I'm sorry, and it's one of those things. If I don't poke fun at it first for myself, everybody's going to poke fun at it for me, and I don't need that really. So yeah, I have a thing for Brad Pitt, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, really. A lot of people, because like. Nobody around here really thinks about him except for me. And it's like, why are you doing this? And it's like, it's an Elvis thing. Can I blame it on that? Yeah, my mom was big on Elvis, and I'm thinking maybe, yeah, I don't know what happened just recently. It started with the whole lockdown thing. It really did because I really was searching for something, and I just turned 50, and I'm like, what? This is what you're going to do? What? And so, like, just to kind of like, just to make myself happy, what I started doing is I started painting Brad Pitt. Like I said, I started painting a Brad Pitt painting. I did a Brad Pitt painting. And somebody said, "Oh, why don't you post it online?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll post it online. This is great, right?" I posted online. And then this is where it all kind of starts. And then I start talking about it with people, and people laugh at me, and I'm like, "Oh my god, you don't understand. I didn't mean for this to happen. This is the way it's just been going." Like, okay, I put up the picture of Brad Pitt, and then all of a sudden I started getting somebody who's saying they were Brad Pitt to talk to me, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is really amazing." And then I realized, "Oh my gosh, somebody's trying to scam me." I'm like, "Wait a minute." So to kind of cope, see what it's been is the all drawings of him, and I really do appreciate Brad Pitt. I really do. He's very easy on the eyes. He's very aesthetic. He's got great genetics, great bone structure, great muscle structure. He aged gracefully, and he isn't as weird as Tom Cruise. So I mean, he's got some weirdness, but that's okay. We're all a little odd when we get older. That's okay because things happens to good things happen to weird people and good people alike. So to cope with the fact that not only am I getting contacted by one Brad Pitt, but now I'm getting contacted by another one saying he's Brad Pitt too. And then I got another one, and then I got another one, and another one, and it just started continuing. And then I started telling people, "Oh, I got contacted by, and they're all like, "Oh, look at you, falling for it, falling for it." I'm like, "Oh man, if I'd have known." But to cope with it, what I did is I started drawing more pictures just because it was something that was getting me frustrated. And now to get over the frustration of it, I was painting and drawing more Brad Pitts. And so I post those ones online, and then more Brad Pitts would contact me. I'm Brad Pitt. I'm Brad Pitt. Hi, I'm Brad Pitt. Hey, you don't believe I'm Brad Pitt? Here, look, I have my passport. Look, I'm going to show you my social insurance number. Hey, here's a picture of me that looks like it could have been today, but maybe it's from 1999, or maybe it's a picture of me that I took that somebody else has taken and posted it with my head on it, or somebody has a picture of me with a piece of paper and I'm a hold the paper. I pretended I write something on there that says, Kim, I love you. You know it's me. It's Brad, blah, blah, blah. Do you believe that stuff? And this is, and so the humor is like, oh my gosh, I've become like, when everybody, I have to tell people, yeah, I'm sorry. I have a thing for Brad Pitt. I really do. He's a good guy. I think he's probably probably a nice guy. Maybe. I don't know, because I don't know him. I don't know him. I just draw him, right? It's like, uh, it's funny. Yeah, a lot of people like to. So people like to go, hey, it's Brad Pitt, right? Yeah, yeah. Hey. So I hear that, and it helps me. It's a self defeating humor that I have, and I will bring it up in conversation. Yes, I'll say yeah, yeah, something something, yeah, Brad Pitt, blah blah, and I'll be like, yeah, oh, okay, Kim. But it's just me. That's the way that it's gone lately for the last 3 years now, and I've met a lot of people. Like I got kicked off of Twitter because I said something that I shouldn't have. That was the truth, and sometimes it's better to lie on Twitter than to tell the truth, I guess. So when I was on Twitter, I got a lot of that's where they all came from. And now that I'm off of there, I'm getting like Instagram and I'm getting like the Facebook ones. And it's like, you guys, you can just stop. You can stop now because, I know for a fact that if you wanted to contact me, you'd be in contact with me by now. And uh, I don't see anybody, it's not happening. So I know it's like we had to get down to the nitty gritty of it and tell you that there's so many imposters out there that it's just craziness. And this is why I laugh because it's self defeating humor. And I started asking some of the people that are fans of Brad Pitt, started talking to them, asking them, how many of these Brad Pitt imposters do you get? And somebody was saying like they got over 70 of them. And I'm like, okay, now I don't feel so bad because it's not just self defeating for me, it's self defeating for everybody else that have been. So making it funny is the only way that I kind of like can deal with it. You know what I mean? It's like a again, it makes it's self enhancing in a way because it's stress coping. It's a way of being able to cope with it. I just laugh about it because if you don't laugh about it, some of the things that go on in your life, you end up crying about it. And, there's a good saying by I think his name's Kurt Vonnegut, and it says laughter and tears are both responses to frustration and exhaustion. I prefer to laugh I prefer to laugh since there's less to clean up afterwards. Less cleanup to do afterwards, I should say. Yeah, that's what he said. Laughter and tears are both responses to frustration and exhaustion. I prefer to laugh since there is less cleanup to do afterwards. That's it. Yeah. So being funny. Some people laugh for unknown reasons. And I had a friend when I was in college. We went to like Canada's Wonderland, and he would laugh hysterically before we got onto roller coasters. And I would ask my boyfriend at the time, I'm like, what's with him? And he'd say, it's a coping mechanism. He just laughs at everything. Like if he's not sure of something, he gets so giddy and starts laughing. Yeah, so laughter is like a mechanism for a lot of people, and it really does. It helps you cope with a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's all you can do, right? Yeah, you gotta laugh because, like I say, beats the alternative. And somebody asked what it would take to be a good comedian and be able to make people laugh, and the things that you have to really be paying attention to is listen to carefully to people is the first thing. Just listening to people. It's important, you know. Appreciating irony is also something that's very important. The ironic thing of being an artist is that, so many people say no to you. You get used to laughing it off. So, I mean, most of the times when I go to apply to something or do something, if I don't get a yes answer, I'm like, yeah, all right, back to square one. Here we go again, right? It's nothing to be all fickle about because, life is meant to be fun and enjoyed. And when you have people oppressing you, you got to laugh about it because you can cry quite a lot. And oh, be surprising. Sometimes um, when you catch people off guard, it kind of gets people going too. Like oh, there's a few examples I can mention. Um, like when I do say I've been a clown before, and people are, you've been a clown, or even when I mentioned that some of the things I've done. One of them is like what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, which is yeah. Oh, mentioning which, hold on. I'm going to be doing Jerome the Gnome tomorrow. So yeah, just in case you're wondering where I am tomorrow, that's what I am doing. And people, when they find out that I'm a mascot, sometimes they're like, you do what? Yeah, yeah, I'm a mascot sometimes, and tomorrow is one of those days. So I'm going to be a mascot tomorrow. I'll be at the Falls View Casino. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You won't ever know I'm there, but I'm there. I'll be in the slots. I'll be like, yeah, come on, baby. Kimmy needs to win. Kimmy needs to win. No, well, in between being a mascot, I'll be going into the casino if they let me. I know. Up until I was 35, I used to get asked for ID. So I'm hoping I don't get asked for ID. I don't plan on taking a lot of um, uh, stuff with me because I'm going to be in costume, and I have to keep everything kind of my personal stuff aside while I'm all in costume. So yes, and that's the other thing that's kind of fun and surprising for people. Yeah, I dress up in costume. I do like costume. I do. I wouldn't dress up as a man because I figure. Here's the thing. Because I figure the older I get, the more mannish I'm going to start looking anyway. I'm a handsome woman. What can I say? I'm a handsome woman. My father was very good looking, and my dad was very good looking. So was his father. Blah blah blah. My mom was a very good looking woman. So I mean, I have good genes. I got the good genes in my family, and for that reason, I can. I, women when they start getting older look a little bit more mannish. Men when they start getting older start looking a little bit more womanish. Have you noticed that? I mean, am I the only one that sees that? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this little segment that I've been doing. It's Entertainment Thursdays, so I mean, I find kind of things that I do entertaining, and I hope you do too. Entertaining is all about. So those are the things I could mention to you, of course, is one of the things that I did is the spaghetti incident. The spaghetti incident is like one of the biggest things that I probably had ever happened to me. But I've fallen, like I say, being Kimmy the Clown and doing a lot of funny things over the course. And being a magician's assistant, I've done some pretty funny things too. I could tell you stories about that. I could tell you stories about my different jobs that I've had. I could tell you stories about the paint night experiences that I've had over the years. I can tell you stories about whitewater rafting in Ottawa when I was 17 years old and jumping off a cliff. Hey, never expect things. Never expect, some people they may come across to you like something that's kind of mild and laid back, but you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? So always be prepared to be surprised as well. So if you have any surprises for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, let me know too. If you want to follow along with me, learn a little bit about art, and like I say, today was entertaining. So I'm hoping you're entertained a little bit. Are you not entertained? Oh, there's my pencil sharpener. I was looking all over for this. Oh my gosh, one of the artist's greatest things to have is a pencil sharpener. You go without one of these babies, and it's like, oh, my world is incomplete. Now my world is complete. And I'm satisfied, and I'm hoping that you are satisfied. Oh, and I'm going to do your reading. Oh my gosh. I'm extending this. I feel like Danny Z Remember Danny Z? Yeah, Danny Z was a magician that I used to hang out with, and he had a tendency to like want to like show people. Hold on a second. He liked to overstay his welcome sometimes. And the one time when we were doing magic over at the Pyramid Place in Niagara Falls, he'd extended his show to the point where the buses had left already and the people weren't on them because they were all still watching Danny Z. And unfortunately, they should have just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. You can always do another show. So I won't keep you. I will just do a quick little divination for you because I know you like to know what's good and what's coming up and all the good things that are meant just for you. I like to do this for you. Entertainment Thursday. This is entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only. I am entertaining for you, I'm sure. So, did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy getting to know me? Yeah, and the amount of time I can talk up a storm, I really can. Ooh. Knight of Wands. All right, so that get a popped up and said the Knight of Wands wants to say something. So if you know anybody with these tendencies, the Knight of Wands, let me just look him up for you. He's a pretty good guy. I think I know who that is. And you know what? It's good to know. You know, I know I'm a lady. Well, I try to be. But there's some guys that they're so great, and they don't ask for anything, and they don't wands, wands, and they don't ask for anything, and they just are just so awesome and nice to you that you just want to just hang out with them and just hey, let's hang out or something. Okay, let's find out what you're all about. Prince of Wands. Okay. So let me read you what it says. It says, there is a message here about change of residence or change of a job. Oh, that's so cool. Sound familiar? Okay. In making a move, you will meet someone who will spark your creative urge. This will be an opportunity to expand your effectiveness in the world through courage and endurance. All right. This is what I've been looking forward to. I hope you have too. All right. Original thinking will be a strong asset. Okay? Be aware that the appearance of the Prince of Wands in a reading means that the person with his qualities will soon be appearing in your life. And this kind of person he rides in upon his great charger, carrying a fire-tipped wand, and behind him a dusky cloud of smoke behind him. He's full of energy and excitement. He has a unpredictable he's an active, unpredictable, and competitive disposition. So if you know somebody who has that, and creative passion, he's got creative passion too. I hope you have creative passion. I know I do. Somewhat self-centered. He's likely to think he knows more than a great deal than he does. Sound familiar? Ever restless and ambitious, he looks for a change of residence and to move up in his status. He's always looking to be bolder than he is. All right. So be bold. Look for that new effective job. Be courageous. Do your best. All right. Isn't that great? And what's on the basis of? Oh, the magician. Well, the magician. Creating some magic, right? In the hopes of creating some magic. And that's a major arcana card. And that's the first one. Next to the Fool is the magician. And with your willpower, you can consciously and aggressively direct things and accomplish all that you visualize. So you have to keep, when you have a nice strong change going on, you have to keep your eyes on the prize, right, babies? And what would my prize be? What's my passion? What's your passion? What prize are you looking for? Hmm? All right. You can accomplish all that you visualize. You are challenged to go forward into the world and use your skill and intelligence to produce change for the better. Let's make some magic. And on that note, let me give you a quick shuffle back up again. 40 minutes, man, I talk up a storm. I'm appreciating that you being here, and I'm going to go and review this. So I'm going to be watching another 40 minutes of me talking away. Uh-oh. Okay, and I'll stop. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I talk your ear off because I love you. I love you. All right. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, or you want to commission me for anything, or you want to have me come out and hang out and talk with you, just let me know in the comments below. We need to talk. I know. I know. Peace, oh brother, with a little bit of it, as my mom would say, because she knew. She knew it's important. You got to talk.